All right, y'all, I am back with video number 5 in my rising sign series, and I am now on Leo rising. So if you are a Leo rising, if you know somebody who's a Leo rising, then of course this video is for you guys. And for some odd reason, the universe, the creator, God has aligned me with so many Leo risings. And of course, I do know that we're all here to teach each other something. And I kind of think I know now what a Leo rising is trying to teach me. But I will go through the energies of this person. And based on my own experience, what I've seen through the people who are in my life and who are a Leo rising. Now, remember, your rising sign essentially is your first impression to the world. How do people view you before they get to know your emotions, before they get to know your soul? How are you presenting yourself out into the world? Now, Leo is a fire sign, and fire signs are known to be very like quick and high energy and impulsive and impatient. But the Leo rising, that's not always the case. And that is something that I've noticed with my Leo rising friends and family, that they are not as look at me as the energy that Leo gives off. Leo is known for, it's ruled by the sun. It's the center of attention. It's spotlight. Sometimes Leo energy can be very full of themselves because, again, they want that attention reflected back on themselves. But the Leo rising, I've noticed that most of them that I know, they're very shy and they only speak whenever they have something really important to say or whenever it's provoked. However, they still carry that very confident energy, very charismatic energy, that theatrical energy. It's naturally in them because the Leo risings that I know are ones who are in industries where they do have to stand up in front of crowds. So you naturally have that energy in you to, present yourself in front of an audience because Leo rules the fifth house of theater and movies and cinema and center stage. So that is something that I have seen with them too. So they don't necessarily just outwardly like, hey everyone, I'm here, but they do come across again very confident and they can be sometimes a little bit introverted too. But whenever it comes to the houses, I'm going to go through the houses in your chart and then what sign rules over them and kind of how you can see these energies play out. Now, remember, it is not 100% because I'm not looking at your birth chart. And you have to also understand too, is that whenever it comes to like your rising sign is in your first house. So if you have other planets or placements there, that can affect the energy of how you present yourself. And also too, the degree of your rising sign can change your entire personality. Because like I said, I have off the top of my head, I can think about 4 or 5 Leo risings that I'm very close with. And they definitely are not the same, but they all have a similar type of energy, similar type of storyline too. So, whenever it comes to you, of course, your second house is ruled by Virgo. Now, second house is the house of family. It's the house of wealth, things that you value, your possessions, your self-worth, your speech also too. So, whenever it comes to you, like I said, that shyness could come from that Virgo energy. It's an earth sign. It's more steady, it's slow, it's calculated. So, how you communicate, let's say with your family or, in general, your speech can be very calculated, can be very like, what do I need to say? And again, a more slow, more methodical type of delivery whenever it comes to you, how you communicate with your family, and also, your own self-worth. As far as like your third house, the third house is the house of, communication. The third house is the house of siblings, traveling, the short distance traveling. It's also your early school life too. So whenever it comes to you, it's Libra. Libra rules over that third house. So when it comes to communication, let's say with siblings, it could be very, a creative conversation between you two, very balanced between you two. Now, again, if you have like Mars there, might change the energy of it, but like I said, it's a very try to keep a lot of balance, beauty within your relationship with your siblings. And also traveling seems to, the Leo risings that I know tend to have pretty good traveling experiences. Like it's not terrible. But again, there's a lot of beauty behind that because again, Libra rules over your third house. Now, your fourth house, though, is the house of family, ancestry, roots, your mother. And so Scorpio ruling over that fourth house could create a very protective energy whenever it comes to your family because Scorpio is Mars energy and Mars is, it can be very aggressive. It can be possessive. It can be jealous. And also your relationship with your mother could be very, have a strong emotional connection with them. And it doesn't necessarily mean emotional means like so soft and, perfect because the Leo risings that I know off the top of my head had a very like combative relationship with their mothers growing up. And it's not like a bad combative, but there's a lot of back and forth. Scorpio is the scorpion, it can sting you. So again, there's a strong emotional connection though, and all of them are very close to their mothers. But again, it wasn't perfect, I say, growing up. But as far as your fifth house is ruled by Sagittarius. So the fifth house is a house of children, of romance, of, like I said, Leo, it's creativity. So let's say, like, whenever it comes to your children, and this is again the Leo risings that I know do have kids, and so they with their children they can come across very philosophical in nature, or very, like, they teach them a lot. They do teach them a lot. There's one of them is an actual teacher, but they do teach their children their philosophies, their morals. They're very the energy behind the way that they raise them is very Sagittarian like. It's also very free spirited too. I have noticed that they do allow their kids to explore and, kind of be themselves. And I know one of them off the top of my head, I know she's not going to watch this, but her daughter is in high school and she wants to go overseas for like what is it called? This when you take classes overseas, it'll come to me later. Like for, oh my gosh, what is it? Like a study abroad, that's a study abroad program. So she is allowing her to travel overseas to Europe to do a study abroad thing. So again, that freedom, because Sagittarius is known about freedom and exploration, they really allow their kids to be free and also teach them their morals and belief systems, of course, based on what they believe in. As far as your sixth house is ruled by Saturn or Capricorn. And so Leo risings do face a lot of opposition in life. I have noticed that too. And it's not to say that you have a terrible life. It's just like because the sixth house is the house of work, and we spend a lot of our time at work and with career. And the ones that I know off the top of my head, each single one of them has always told me some kind of work crisis or something that has to do with work, and either they want to quit, they want to leave, it's somebody there doing something. And so that's just something that I have seen. So Saturn ruling over your sixth house can bring opposition with your day-to-day work routines and also health, because it's the house of health. It's a Virgo house. So any kind of delays, obstacles, obstruction in those areas, it's trying to teach you discipline in those areas. So just to be aware of that. Wherever Saturn is in your birth chart, it's trying to tell you, hey, clean up this area of life or I'm going to give you some problems. So just understand that. As far as your seventh house, and of course, this is a lot of people come to me for relationship advice and love and things like that. So your seventh house is the house of long-term commitments, like marriage, like business partnerships, contracts, legal bindings between people. It's the Libra house, so it's bonding between other people. So your rising sign, whatever sign is the opposite of your rising sign, that is your seventh house and the kind of energy that you can attract in a partner. So for you, it's a Saturn ruled seventh house. So it can be a few things. Now it is Aquarius, it's not Capricorn, but Saturn energy is a more mature energy. So you could attract a partner who is a more mature than you or older than you. Thinking of the Leo risings that I know. I would say for the most part, it's pretty balanced, but the partner tends to be a little bit more mature, a little bit, having things a little bit more together as far as the responsibilities. But as far as you, it's Aquarius ruled seventh house. So it's also, Saturn is also known for partnership too, as far as business. So you could attract a partner who is more business-like or going into business with them, or they could be somebody who is with you or, whatever, because of the benefit they could get from being with you, whether it's money, whether it's your own knowledge, whatever the case is, it's looked at more as like a business type of partnership, again, because that Saturn ruled seventh house. So they could be like, well, I want to be with this person because they have XYZ, they have this type of network, whatever. It's just a natural thing, as long as you're aware of it. Some people could look at it as like, oh, you're just using them or whatever. But again, that's just naturally what you're going to attract whenever you have a Saturn ruled seventh house. The same goes for Cancer rising as well. It's a Saturn ruled seventh house. So somebody who's more mature, who's more business minded, who is more like, what can we benefit from being together? But Aquarius energy is also known for me being very, I'm Aquarius sun, so I'm just calling myself out. Aquarius energy is also known for being cold. People say we don't have feelings, but Aquarius ruled seventh house, your partner can be seen as somebody who has no feelings, doesn't care, comes across like that. So You know, like I said, it's not everybody, but that could be an indication that they're like heartless or something like that. But as far as your eighth house, Jupiter rules over your eighth house, which is the house of Scorpio, the house of the occult, hidden knowledge. It's also like shared finances, taxes, inheritance. It's known as the death house. It's the transformation house. You know, endings and beginnings can come from there too. So a lot of times Leo risings can actually make really good astrologers or anyone who's in like tarot, of the occult studies, because again, Jupiter is knowledge and the eighth house is the house of hidden knowledge. So you have knowledge of hidden knowledge. So that could make you a really good astrologer. And not to say that that's should be your profession, but again, that's just a natural inclination. And if you're watching this as a Leo rising, you probably have some type of knowledge within astrology. So that kind of makes sense. But as far as your ninth house is ruled by Aries, and the ninth house, again, is the house of Sagittarius, the house of exploration, freedom, philosophy, traveling, your beliefs, your morals, higher education, all of that is seen through the ninth house. And so having an Aries ruled ninth house could make you very like, this is what I believe in, and very like I want to say extremist, because the Leo risings that I know aren't too extreme with their beliefs, but if you try to present some new information, well, I'm thinking of one of my really close friends, she had a hard time kind of really grasping astrology. So for her North Node is there. I need to tell her, you're gonna get pushed that way. But anyways, y'all, she ain't gonna watch this. But that could be an indication too that you know, your beliefs are very like, no, this is what I believe in. You're gonna fight for your beliefs, for your convictions, because again, it's an Aries ruled ninth house. Now, again, whatever your beliefs may be, again, because it also depends on what else is in that ninth house. So it could be somebody who believes in, I don't know, racism, and they believe in like, this is how the world should be, and this is how we should, whatever. Okay, like that's just Aries, like I said, an Aries ruled ninth house. Now, as far as your 10th house is ruled by Venus, which is the Taurus type of energy. So I have seen these Leo risings, all of the ones that I know are very into interior decorating, some kind of beauty, fashion. Three off the top of my head, their homes are very like you know, decorated really nice. Like you walk in and you're like, what is this, HGTV or something like that? It's very beautiful. So again, a Venus ruled 10th house, which is a house of reputation, career, your public image. You could present yourself as somebody who is very interested, again, like I said, in beauty, art, nature, because it's Taurus type of energy. So it could also be nature too. It's not just like, you know, beauty and art and stuff like that. As far as your 11th house is ruled by Gemini. This is also something that I've noticed with these Leo risings. Gemini ruled 11th house could be because 11th house is the house of friendship, the house of large social networks, groups, this Aquarius house. And so having Gemini energy there, one, having very intellectually stimulating friends, but also being very youthful, being very playful, being very communicative with your friends. That is also something that I've seen with these people. They're always having a conversation with a friend, talking to them, texting them, calling them, like just all the time. I don't know, just Gemini likes to talk, and there's communication with the social networks and the friendship groups, so it kind of makes sense. But as far as your 12th house is ruled by the moon, and 12th house is the house of Pisces, the house of healing, the house of isolation, separation. It could be like hospitals, it could be like jail, you know, all that's seen through monks, you know, anything that separates you from just like the regular world. That is 12th house energy. And it's also the house of the subconscious, the house of dreams. And so when you have water energy over that one, it can make you like like a healer to like the max. Like you really want to help people, you really want to heal people, you really want to do whatever you can to you know, when I say help them, I don't know how many other ways I could say help. But again, really wanting to help people out because like I said, moon rules over your 12th house of Pisces, of the subconscious too. So it just makes you a little bit more empathetic with people. My Leo rising friends can tell me that I can be kind of mean, but it's not mean. Okay. So it's just everything is based on interpretation. So fire and air signs could look at another fire and air sign and be like, what's wrong with that? And then earth and water signs can look at you and be like, you have to be a little bit more empathetic, you know, a little bit nicer. So that's where I say we are all here to teach each other something because vice versa, we could tell these people you don't have to be so nice all the time because nice doesn't always get you what you want, okay? But anyways, y'all, I'm going off on a tangent. But I appreciate y'all. This is kind of a general energy of the Leo rising. If you're a Leo rising, if something resonated with you, go ahead and comment below. I appreciate y'all for watching my videos. Slowly but surely, y'all, slowly but surely. And if you like a more in-depth analysis of your complete birth chart, go ahead and message me on any social media platform. I love talking to people. I love my one-on-ones with my clients. Like, we love exchanging stories, okay? So y'all, any social media platform, my website. Thank y'all, and I will see you on the next video, which will be a Virgo rising.